Lewis, let's look at the Mail. What are they going with? I'm guessing it's strikes.
It's strikes, and this is another... I mean, this is obviously a story, but it doesn't deserve... These people don't deserve... I'll tell you something. I love the NHS. Nobody is treated better by the NHS than I am. I think maybe they want to send a message to America that the NHS is amazing. So I got amazing...
And you're there a lot with your gout and...
I am there a lot. I've got gout with my high blood pressure, with my type 2 diabetes. I've got it all, and now I've been told I've got high ferritin levels, which means I've got a lot of iron in me.
Anyway, you've got a ferritin?
Ferritin.
Oh.
It's like I'm a man of metal. That ferritin is...
But should we introduce the story and then do the
all right,
thing?
Sorry.
Good catch.
I forgot we were doing a show here. Anyway, so there's fears of chaos if doctors and nurses strike together. The nurses have been offered 5% increase, and that's not good enough for them. I mean, I seem to remember that we got into this trouble was because everybody basically stopped what they were doing to save the NHS, and we all applauded them. And then the government gave out money which they didn't have, which caused the inflation, which now they're complaining about.
Yeah, I like the way you've been quite resolute in blaming the NHS, but I do see your point. We did give out all that money during COVID. It was a big mistake. Well, lockdowns were a big mistake, in my opinion. But anyway, that may be a separate point. Steve, what do you think? Are you sympathetic with the nurses? I think we're more sympathetic than the 35% for junior doctors. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the surveys are saying that we're actually, in general, as a populace, more sympathetic towards this industrial action than we've been in the past. Part of that, I think, is because we understand the inflation part of it. Normally, if a strike happens, you've got to message how inflation impacts your take-home wage. That's part of what they do. We're going on strike because of this. You can't move without having the word inflation thrown at you these days. So we all understand their argument. We all understand the compound difference between not getting these inflationary catching up pay rises. This front page, though, does have a lot of heavy lifting by the word if. Chaos if the doctors and nurses strike together. So the nurses can only strike one more time before they have to go back and reballot. But if they do reballot and say, let's go for striking, then they could, maybe, if they time it this way, strike. There's no evidence that they would even try that, because what they might do is lose the goodwill of the people. Not that everyone has it, but some people does.
Yeah. I think when people think about it, they know where the inflation came from. The inflation came from us printing money during COVID, of which I don't want to be negative to these people because they want to make more money. They don't realize what they were doing. But everybody cheerleading the NHS and shutting down the NHS and then handing out money like it's nothing.
But what difference does it make where the inflation came from? Their point is inflation has happened. Our pay hasn't kept up with it for 10 years.
Right, but somebody has to be blamed for the COVID crisis. For the COVID
you can't blame nurses.
Pandemic. Yes, you do. You do.
Of all the people to blame, I did not see nurses coming out of this.
Of course, because they were the one who said we've got to stop everything because of this thing, which turned out to be complete. Listen, you're supposed to step in.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to believe you, Lewis, that a lot of people are thinking, oh, this is inflation from the lockdown. I don't think most people actually do think like that. They don't like inflation, but I don't think that many people actually tie it to lockdowns. Which
they should.
Yeah, it was one contributing factor. And I love that you dropped the scamdemic bomb in the first section. In case Ofcom are watching, that was satirical content.